Joining me now is Sky News contributor Kosha Gator. Kosha, let's jump into the intensifying war of words between President Trump and President Zelensky, who has completely shifted from pledging to negotiate a peace deal. President Zelensky now says the end of the war is very, very far away, a statement that has seen a swift response from the White House.
He said he thinks the war's going to go on for a long time. And he better not be right about that. That's all I'm saying.
President Trump also wrote, "This is the worst statement that could have been made by Zelensky, and America will not put up with it for much longer." Kosha, Trump also pointed out in that statement that Keir Starmer's comments and comments from other European leaders who have pledged to support Ukraine, they've also said they can't do the job without the US. That's an important point that much of the media has missed. And I do wonder how that's going to happen with relations at this point.
So as the dust from that dust up settles, there's a picture that's clarifying that's coming out, which is on the one hand, you have a war that is not winnable and was never winnable without the US. And the U.S. involvement in large measure to the tune of $100 billion a year or more, plus this looming specter of security guarantees in whatever shape or form that took or was implied under the past administration for 4 years. And on the other hand, you have an election that took place, and Trump is a reflection of that election, which is that the American electorate has long time not been in favor of this. It is dropping like a stone, their support for the level of U.S. involvement, and Trump is reflecting that and personifying that. And it seems like President Zelensky has not caught up to that, like he hasn't updated his software yet in his mind. Maybe it's his own failing, maybe it's that he's just been in sort of the East Coast, West Coast bubbles whenever he visits and he doesn't understand the pulse of the American electorate.
Surely he's advised better than that. This is what was astonishing to so many. It was astonishing to me. It was astonishing to a lot of pro-Ukrainian experts who've been commenting on this crisis for 3 years, that he seemed to think it was 2020 or 2022. He did not go into that meeting with any sort of appreciation of how the public mood has shifted, what Trump campaigned on, and this is not a position Trump has come to just in the last week. He campaigned on this. It should be crystal clear where the current administration stands.
Absolutely. It's where he has stood previously, even before he entered political office. He has long time been against U.S. involvements. He's very much a non-interventionalist. Everybody knows this. To the point of advice, it almost sounds like to the contrary, he's been getting really bad advice because he met with Democrat senators before that meeting, like 1 hour before that infamous meeting.
Bad move.
And received advice from Mark Kelly and Murphy of Connecticut and others who seemed to have, they ran to their X feeds afterwards and presented little snippets where they were saying, we think it's a bad deal, it's reducing this to a business transaction, et cetera. So he seems to totally have misread how serious Trump and Vance are. These are not just words, and now there's reports that they're cutting off potentially all aid, humanitarian and military, so these stakes just got a lot higher for him.
I think that is that pause is going to be the wake-up call that we need now, that if you actually do want to have any sort of meaningful, lasting peace, you have to come to the negotiation table with the willingness to negotiate. Otherwise, we're going to have another 3 years of this disastrous war. The destruction in Ukraine in particular is just heartbreaking.